And we're back here at the MLG TV Arena. We had some people that can only go 2 games and had to do a bathroom break. It's pretty unbelievable, to be honest with you.
Some weak bladders down there in the booths.
I'm going to go down there and fight Censor after this game.
I'm going to vine it.
You may
get RKO'd off the
6
stage.
seconds is all it's going to take. As we are about to jump into game number 3, we've got Blitz on board here. And this is the second time MLG's called me Puckett here. I get the point. And we got Maven and now the producer. I think this is a sick joke. A sick joke. But we've got Blitz coming up. We had just a plethora of problems here in game number 2. Certainly not going to miss that. Finally, Karma was able to win it with an ace, which was nice.
Yeah.
Great play out of them. We're getting to do a 3rd map in a row on the map Octane. This time it's going to be Blitz. Crim6 did believe OpTic Nation was going to pull that one out. However,
you can see why, though. You know, we talk about some of the statistics that we see. You know, the way OpTic Nation can play, they can sneak around the outside. They don't necessarily need to be very slay heavy. You know, when we looked at the stats earlier on, nothing really massive from the slaying, apart from maybe Ricky at times.
Yeah.
But the way that Faze played, they like those gunfights. They like close quarter gunfights. You know, so like Freight Blitz, for example, would be a perfect map for Faze. So I'm very, very surprised to see the way the veto system worked out.
And here you have it. Again, very familiar map. The guys have been playing on this one for all 3 games to kick it off here. This time on Blitz, 1-1 though. But however, I'm not surprised that it's 1-1 going into game 3.
Just not the way it worked out.
Just not the way that it worked out, because you would have expected Faze to take domination and OpTic Nation to take the SND. That was not the case. It was the other way around. We will do a Turtle Beach team chat for you guys at some point in this game as well, as we're going to kick it off in the eyes of Killa here for OpTic Nation.
Well, let's have a look at Killer. He's going to be using that Remington. Looks like immediately going to go up top as well. And we'll see whether Crim6 prediction can come true. Killer, a couple of shots, not able to pick up that first kill though, as Ricky and Apathy both got a couple of kills. Ricky actually has 2 kills already. Let's just fly over towards his screen and see exactly what he's up to. Using that Vector, another play just around that corner. Ricky for the 3rd kill. Nicely played from him.
And Ricky just hanging out here, was able to get the kill on Apathy. Embo's going to follow up on Parasite. Shots going to the top motel. Ricky was only able to get a hit marker, nothing more than that. Again, though, if you're remembering the stats, Ricky, a strong slayer, but he also puts up crazy objective work in Blitz. He's able to get caps on the board, and I think he's averaging close to like, what was it, 7 or 8 or something pretty astronomical against Faze here. You know, he does have stats that can back it up, so we'll see how he's able to play this game out as we are going to jump on with Ricky. Karma's going to get a sniping kill. Picked up a nice shot, taking out Ricky as we switch over on board with Embo's. Slow start.
It is.
I mean, Ricky, you know, he had some good kills. He was put on a show for us, but all things considered, a minute and 15 seconds in has been pretty slow.
So yeah, Faze played the defensive side very, very smart. They didn't push out. They waited. They knew Embos would be pushing. And now we see Santa trying to push outside of his base. Has a kill in front of him. Does pick that one up, but OpTic Nation were able to pick up 2 as Santa goes to the 2-piece. Not going to happen. That's going to leave Apathy the only player up. And he's going to be covering this right-hand side. He's going to have to throw out that Semtex now. That should get him a kill. Does so. Nicely played from him. A couple of pills do go down, though. Looking for someone potentially trying to make some plays down the right-hand side of the map. We see Sensor pushing all the way around the outside. Has a teammate in support as well. That is going to be Parasite. But right now, everyone very, very slow for us.
Very slow indeed. No caps on the board. 2 minutes into the game. Killa picking up a 2-piece there, though. Apathy's got a sniper rifle out. He's going to switch back over the Vector. See somebody cross, picks up a kill, taking out Embos.
Oh, is he going to quickscope someone?
No.
That would be nasty.
No shots being fired there. That's going to be 2 players down for Faze. Both Karma and Sensor. Embos pushing. Miracles with a kill as he's able to take out Apathy, getting very close to scoring a goal there. Smoke screen is out. Going to cause that player to come out a little bit off to his left, and he's going to get shot, taken out, but a cap comes in. And that's going to be Killa, who was able to go in with Miracles, even though Miracles got taken out. Ricky's going to try to rally one out here, running through the remaining part of that smoke. He's got Embos over there. Cap on board. Embos should stay in place, try to get some kills. You should jump on with Embos.
I was just looking at Sensor there as he got that cap. We'll see Embos. As you said, he was getting that spawn trap down. There was another player for Nation in a position to go for that relay. That is going to be Killer. Killer on a 7-point streak. Make that 8-point streak as he runs that in.
As long as Embos sits here, I mean,
he's not really had anything to do, because what's happening is every player from every player from Faze is overextending around that left-hand side, and Nation have no one covering the cross. And again, Faze are going to get another cap there, 4-3, and OpTic Nation need to cover that cross. You know, they can't allow Faze to just push all the way through.
Yeah, 3 down for OpTic Nation as Embos was able to get the cap, get back to base. So even though Embos had a good setup there for OpTic Nation, while that was happening, Faze was scoring their own caps. And now they've actually got a really good setup over here as they were able to pick up another cap.
Looking at the one player on this right-hand side, it is going to be Sensor for Faze. He's trying to make some plays. The Blitz portal is going to open up. It's all tied at 4-4 with a minute 30 left. You would think he's going to get it, but he's going an interesting route, and he does get the knife kill, but he could get shut down here. One play from Nation, in fact, doesn't even bother turning around, just runs that one home. And Sensor gives Faze the lead at 5-4.
That was well played by Sensor. I'm surprised he didn't swoop around like the tank side to come in from the back, and you know, but often it's easier said than done when we're able to see these players in Oracle mode and assess kind of what route you would go. It makes it a lot easier. On board Parasite, he's going to get some shots off, takes out Ricky as Embos is able to follow up on a kill with him. Switching on with Sensor. 5-5 is your score here. And it's a close game as it has been throughout this entire series. No, that's a lie. Just game one. S&D was pretty brutal.
Faze really asserted their dominance in that search and destroy, which is surprising. Wasn't the way the statistics had that one going at all, as Karma was going to get shut down. And that was actually Sensor who shot Karma in the back there, so friendly fire not really coming out. As Apathy up top. Not going to be able to connect with a kill, but someone has snuck through now, and it's going to be Parasite. And for as it looks like Parasite is going to give Faze the lead now going into the last 30 seconds.
And nice pickup here, as now they're just going to watch, just defend it. He's going to stay close to it as Embos is going to try to make a push. That's 2 players back for Faze. 3 actually. Karma just kills him. Ricky coming in right behind him, trying to get some shots off. Miracles is going to help him out. OpTic Nation should be able to try to, oh no, Ricky's going to cut it short. I don't think they're going to be able to get this one. They don't have anybody off, and now all 4 Faze players.
Killer just decided to Leroy Jenkins
that. Killer was the last one. Not going to happen there. So Faze is going to have a 1 cap lead going into the second half of this round. That's a close game.
It's nothing to be really sitting on and saying, oh, I feel really comfortable, especially on a map like Octane. You know, we saw Nation not really able to implement that spawn trap as well as they would have liked. They had Embos sat at that burst waiting and waiting and waiting, but no one from Nation covered the overextend, so Faze were able to keep it close and, you know, keep themselves in it, and then eventually they came out on top of that first side.
And on board with Miracles here, 7 and 8. He's at the bottom, but he does have a cap in his name. Ricky's going to get taken out by Sensor. That's going to be 2 down for OpTic Nation. Miracles picking up a kill on Apathy. Sees 1 as he throws the Semtex out. Picks up 2 as that's Parasite finally gets taken out by Karma with a sniper. Karma working this side over here by the tank. Embo's going to help out with the assist, but he gets taken out. And now there's a flurry of action kicking off the second half.
Yeah, lots of movement so far. Sensor trying to push down that left-hand side for Faze. He's going to get shut down, but Faze have 1 player sneaking through. Who is it? It is going to be Apathy. He's all the way behind enemy lines, and he is going to get that cap, giving Faze a 2-point advantage now. As someone from the Nation sneaking around the outside, that is going to be Miracles. And he's throwing that grenade, so he is giving away his position, but the play from Faze trying to hunt him down. He has no idea where it came from. That's going to be Sensor trying to hunt down Miracles. Big gunfight, and Miracles not able to win that one. Sensor comes out on top.
Let's see what he's able to do. He's got to recover here a little bit. Finally does. Faze up by 2 caps. 3 minutes and 52 seconds left on the clock here. One of these teams are going to be up 2-1 after this game number 3 here, so it is a pivotal moment here for both these squads. Embo is going to get a kill on Sensors. We switch on board with Killa. He's going to backpedal a little bit. I think he did have a player that got called out there. I believe Closet, so he's looking around to see if someone's going to push in there. They actually came around the front side. He's going to come right underneath here. Parasite.
Ooh, nearly got the 2-piece.
Nearly did get that 2-piece. Killa was finally able to close that one up, get the kill. So OpTic Nation able to stop Faze's advancements here, but they're not able to put one on the board. They've been playing defensive this whole time. They have not really been able to cross the 50-yard line at all this second half.
That's a huge point there for us. And now Faze have full control over OpTic Nation's base. You see Sensor there with a teammate. And that's going to give him a cap, but it is going to be a traded cap as Faze were able to get one. But it's Apathy who's sitting here pretty. He just needs to get a couple of kills here on Nation. There's going to be 1 more with 2 seconds left. It doesn't matter. He gets the cap, and that's a 3-point lead.
Sensor is there too, I believe, as he looks like he's close to it. Yeah, he is indeed over there. They are spawning in. He knows he's got a couple players spawning in, so he's going to have to try to make a stop here. And he does pick up one of those kills, but he's got 1 more coming in on the spawn, so he's just trying to make sure he gets those kills before he does anything else. Sensor finally does score. But there's Faze heating up here. There is more, because Apathy over all this time was able to cap and then get back again. and that nade comes in,
Oh.
and Embos picks it up right as he was about to cap. Nice stop by Embos.
Nation do get one back, though.
And they get a point on the board. So Nation able to do something there to stop the bleeding. But a 3-cap lead here for FaZe and Karma in position.
Karma should pick up that kill, does so. There's going to be more players from OpTic Nation just around that corner. But Karma being very, very patient. Gets another kill. His shot just so on point right now.
Always.
As he's going to go down in the middle of the map. That's going to leave Ricky by himself. He's down
all these
as
players
well.
over there.
FaZe are basically just lining up.
There's like 4 players just try to slide in for FaZe
Right.
there for the cap.
Senses on a 9-point streak as well.
A 9-point streak as he's holding it down. Nades come
10
in. He
point.
gets the cap, and FaZe just trying to put an end to OpTic Nation making any kind of comeback here on this Blitz Octane, as they are now up 12-7 with 1 minute and 35 seconds left on the clock. It is going to be very difficult for OpTic Nation to pull out a win here. They're going to have to start rallying some caps off here soon. And Sensor, knowing that, playing way more passive in the gas station
Not
on the
even pushing
defensive
out.
side of things, not even pushing out. You got Parasite by the tank. They have all the luxury in the world to not have to be too aggressive and play on a more defensive side of things. And now you've got OpTic Nation. They've got to stack it as much as they can. Miracles picks up a 2-piece. That takes out both Apathy and Parasite, as we're going to stay on board with him and see what he's able to do.
See if Miracles can get this kill. Miss. Wow. That was strange. He threw out the knife there, but didn't actually connect with it. That was unfortunate. OpTic Nation trying to put as much pressure on the enemy base as they possibly can, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. With 49 seconds left, 5-point lead, FaZe. What a fantastic blitz they've had, and it proves Crim6 wrong.
Yeah, man, we bring these analysts
Right? They
in,
can't even do their job properly,
they
man.
don't
You
even know what they're talking
Two world
about.
champions sitting at the desk.
I know.
What are we going to do with them?
I know. Right?
It's just not good enough, you know?
Not good enough. But obviously, this has been unexpected. Each one of these maps have kind of gone, not statistically speaking, the way that you would have expected them to have gone.
I mean, I had FaZe down to win it 3-1 in the bracket show, but this is not
I didn't do map counts. I had FaZe winning the series, though.
Okay. It's just not how we would have anticipated.
No,
the maps
even with
to go
that said,
down.
not having the map count, it's
Right.
not. You're absolutely right.
You would always expect Nation to
Yes,
pick up that search and destroy
indeed.
and FaZe to pick up that domination. But you know, when it comes down to the blitz and the importance of the game 3, it is FaZe that come out on top, and that is going to give them a 2-1 map advantage.
Going
now.
into the next game here, domination. They should feel pretty good. Granted, OpTic Nation took game 1, which was a domination, but FaZe should be able to win out.
I mean,
I'm going with FaZe on domination. I'm going to stick
FaZe
to it.
for the 3-1
The
victory.
3-1 victory, they're going to win it on domination.
that's what
Because
I
if
had
it goes to
originally.
search, they're not going to win. I know I know what happened in this series, but I do believe that things are going to kind of balance back out. And if for some reason they don't, and it goes to a game 5, I think OpTic Nation takes the series. That's why I think game number 4 is going to be very important for FaZe to win. Don't go anywhere. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break. We'll be back to bring you game number 4.